Hey, it's Mina, and in this video, we're going to discover if this job is right for you or not. We're going to answer the questions, should you stay or should you go? We're going to look at the internal and external forces that might be at play here. We're going to discover what advice Spirit has for you on what to do next in your career and who can help you get there. Take a look at the cards below. You can choose pile 1, 2, 3, or 4. If you're feeling drawn to pick more than one card, that's completely fine. Just go ahead and watch both piles. You're going to find that there's some messages in each section for you specifically. If you're the type of person who needs some help picking a pile, we're going to use a little currency today. I thought that would be kind of fun and thematic to help you choose the pile. So you can choose the penny, the nickel, the dime, or the quarter. Pause this video for as long as you need to make a choice. If you're looking for a personal reading, I do offer them on my website at www.minanixtarot.com. Use the timestamps in the description box below, and let's get started. Group number 1, if you chose the penny, then this is your reading on if you should stay in your current job. Hold 2 cards here for what happens if you stay and what happens if you leave. If you stay, it's the devil reversed. You're feeling really stuck at work, like outside forces are kind of forcing you, in fact, to stay. But I think in a little bit you're going to realize that actually your behaviors and choices are what have increased the negativity you've been feeling at work. It's time to see the bigger picture of what you want out of life and seize the motivation to change your behaviors to what fits in line with your life purpose. Now, if you leave, you've got the 5 of Cups here. Things are really not going to work out the way that you had envisioned them if you leave, so please don't make any hasty decisions about leaving your job at this time. In fact, it might be hard to find a job at all if you do choose to leave. If you can withstand a time period without income, by all means, go ahead and leave your job and then figure out something that's going to suit you and make you happier. But if you are the type of person who needs to budget and you really rely on that monthly income, then I would very much advise you to make sure you're staying in your current job because it's going to be quite difficult for you to find a job after. So what internal and external forces are here? Why are you feeling stuck? And what behaviors are happening to make you feel like you're currently stuck in your career? So you're looking through everything from a very pessimistic lens. A lot of what you're facing is your own creation. It's like you're creating a negative situation in your life. Because you're creating that negative situation, more negative things are brought back to you. Take a deep breath and look at the job differently. You might see that it's not all as bad as you think it is. It's like because you feel trapped in it, you're unable to reach your truest dreams right now. You just completely discount the job and see everything as the worst thing ever. Which I completely understand. Very few people like being told they have to do something, but a perspective shift seems to be the only thing you need right now. Instead of telling yourself you have to be in this job right now for the money, look at the positive things that are going on in your job and then try to hold on to those and see if it just becomes more pleasant in general for you to be there. I understand that a lot of you aren't in your dream job, and I totally understand how frustrating that can be. But hold on for a minute. Now is just not the time, but you might get there in the future. A calm and rational approach is what's needed right now. Currently, you're feeling bullied and put down, and the desire to fight back can be very strong for you at times. Make sure that any actions or words that you say to stand up for yourself are done calmly and not when you're too emotional. You don't want to let your emotions get the better of you and say and do something that you regret. There's definitely a lack of equal communication at your job. It's almost like someone's telling you what to do and what's going to happen and not even taking your opinions or feelings into consideration into the matter. There's definitely some self-sabotaging behaviors. We can see that here from the cards around it. So just make sure that you're not contributing to the problems that are happening at work currently. For the last card here, who can help you out? The 10 of Wands. Honestly, your boss and yourself are going to be able to fix the situation together. I would say if you're feeling overwhelmed and upset, then you need to make sure that you're spending time when you're off work on self-care tasks. You need to schedule times with your boss when you are calm and when you are not feeling overwhelmed to just talk it out. Admit fault for what you've been doing and tell them your concerns in a rational way. You never know until you ask your boss what your boss can actually do for you. Okay, so it's really important to keep in mind you shouldn't be suffering in silence. There's no reason to go into attack mode. It's hard for anyone not to be able to be defensive when you approach them aggressively to start. Please ask for help. You don't have to feel the way that you're feeling any longer, and most of us spend a good portion of our week working, and it's really just not good for your mental health for you to stay in something that is bothering you so much. If these issues continue, definitely make sure that you continue to discuss it until you can come to some compromise, and be sure that you have a job that's a sure thing to switch into before you leave. These are all the messages I'm getting for you, group number 1. If this video resonates with you, give it a like. Subscribe to my channel for more pick a card videos as well as monthly horoscope readings, and comment down below on ways that you cope with a job when it's frustrating you. I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, group number 2, if you chose the nickel, then this reading is for you. So the first 2 cards here are what happens if you stay in your job, and then this one is what happens if you leave. So for if you stay, you've got the Lovers card here. And if you leave, we've got the Tower in reverse. If you stay, there's going to be some kind of a new person that's coming into your job that you will have an immediate bond with, and they're really going to feel like a partner for you. It's coming in your life to make things a lot more bearable. For another group of you, your boss is very close to starting to see how much value you have as an employee. It's like you're on the edge of harmony in the workplace. For an even smaller portion of you, because remember this is a general reading, so and I only did 4 piles, so I'm like getting a lot of messages all at once. But for an even smaller portion of you, there's actually a sort of romantic partner that will be entering your life at work. I will say you might want to tread lightly here because mixing romance and work can be a bit tricky depending on who they are and where you work. So just be very careful of like full on pursuing that, and make sure that if you do choose to pursue it, that it is ethical and the right channels have been broached before you start anything. As for the Tower reversed, if you leave, this card suggests that narrowly escaping being fired, like you maybe were on the verge of being fired, or you weren't looked at as highly as you'd like to be at work, and you've kind of turned things around a bit. It's interesting because you can leave on your own terms. It's saying that this could also be good. So staying could be good for your personal life, I think, as a whole. I think you could develop a really close friend or potentially a romantic partner. Leaving for you, though, if you embrace letting go of this job, if you're really not interested in it, then they're going to open up a path in your life that is more in line with your life's purpose. It's really like Spirit is giving you a choice here. They're saying both are great choices. I know that this is not really like doing a very good job of answering the question, should you stay or should you go? Because the answer is yes, you can do either one of those things. It kind of depends on what you're looking for in your life right now. I feel like there's a lot of you getting to create your own reality right now, like manifestations coming really, really easily for you. And so that is why I feel like all of your choices are valid at this time. When I look at these cards over here, this is like internal struggles and people that can help you out and advice. When I see the 2 of Pentacles, you're just juggling way too much. It's time to get organized, delegate what you can't really get to, and reprioritize. Once things feel more manageable, then you'll be able to clearly see what the next step is. It looks like there are benefits on either choice, but which one is right for you? That's really what you have to sit back and think about. Don't be a people pleaser. It's really just like rare that you actually get the opportunity to make a choice between 2 healthy options. Maybe it's not necessarily rare, but I feel like it's really rare that we are aware of the fact that we have these 2 really great choices laid out in front of us, is a better way to say that. Advice on what to do? The 5 of Cups. There's like this fear of making the wrong choice. I'm so glad you clicked on this video because I feel like this is a really impactful one. I mean, it started out with 2 major arcana. Something has happened recently in your personal life that was very challenging for you. It put you in such a state of grief that you're questioning all of your life choices up until now. And the thing about the 5 of Cups in the traditional depiction of the card is that 3 cups are tipped upside down and 2 cups are right side up. And the person crying here, I don't know if you can see it very well on the camera, but there's a person crying here, and she's crying over the 3 cups that are flipped down. But what she doesn't see is that there are 2 cups that are still flipped up for her. Those 2 decisions. and both of them are really good. It's almost like clarification that you haven't done it all wrong. This, which I would normally view as a negative card in my readings, is very optimistic to me. It's so supportive. All is not lost for you. Who's going to be able to help you? We have the Tower reversed again here. That means that's a very important concept since we're seeing it twice. I think Spirit's not answering the question of who can help you necessarily, but what can help you, which makes sense to me because Spirit is saying you have all this power and it's good and you make good use out of it. What can help you is admitting that you're in pain, admitting your feelings and living in the reality of that pain that you are feeling and not suppressing it. The pain is confusing you and making you feel less confident. There's nothing wrong with you. Bad things just happen sometimes. They are sometimes a part of change. Sometimes they're a way to make us grow, but you didn't do anything wrong. Please embrace the unknown new world that you're living in and know that you're exactly where you're meant to be. Since you've experienced the loss that you have, I'm really not surprised that you have these strong emotions and that you're looking for answers at this time. But what can really help you is accepting things the way that they are. They're not pretty, they're not beautiful, and they're not even fair. It's just something that's happened. It needed to happen for some sort of reason, and you did not cause it to happen. There's a bigger purpose at play here, is what I keep hearing over and over again. There's a bigger purpose, there's a bigger meaning. Spirit has changed a lot for you and made things very difficult, but also in the same likeness, they're willing to let you make a choice in the next path. These are all the messages I'm getting for you, group number 2. If this video resonates with you, give it a like. Subscribe to my channel for more pick-a-card videos as well as monthly horoscope readings, and comment down below on which choice you felt really suited you better. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, group number 3, if you chose the dime, then this is the reading for you. So the first 2 cards here are what happens if you stay, the 2 of Wands, and what happens if you leave, the King of Cups. The 2 of Wands is literally the card that means that one must make a decision in order to stay or leave their career. But this card can also mean that you've been given the choice between one working position and another. Like your boss has said, hey, we have some new openings here. Would you like to do this or this? And you are being asked to make a choice and you are unsure of what to do. For this card, which is the one I really want to focus on the most, the King of Cups here, here's what I'm being told. There are 3 big messages here. Remember, this is a general reading. And so I'm going to be getting a lot of different messages, and I see 3 big ones are coming into my brain right now. So for those of you who would love to pursue a healing career in the future, or maybe are part of a healing career, these are things like a Reiki practitioner, doctor, nurse, counselor, therapist, coach, etc. Or people who are very artistic or creative in a field like acting, drawing, graphic design, fashion. I could see interior design, sculpting, anything like that. Creative writing would be another part of that. Then this is a big ol' yes to leave your current job and to move on. Those are my 2 different people. We've got our creative people and our healers. And for you guys, the answer is yes, it's time to leave. It is time to move into your passion right now. For those of you who are thinking of starting your own business, this is telling me you need to stay at your job for just a little bit longer. An advisor is getting ready to come to your current job. And it may not seem like a field in which you want to own your business potentially, but this advisor is going to be the person that helps you set up your business more successfully. For all of you though, I feel like you're going to want to stick to your current job for a little bit. I want you to make sure that you have a plan just before, like, don't go in tomorrow and be like, and I quit. You want to make a plan first before you do it. But yeah, I mean, for a lot of you, this isn't your permanent job and you know it. This is all going to be resolved for you. However, it might be resolved by someone making their true intentions very clear to you and you realizing that this is absolutely not the path that you're supposed to be on. And to be honest, I'm getting for a lot of you, you're the type of person who you'll have regrets if you don't have a certain sign that tells you whether or not you should be there or shouldn't be there. You will realize that without a shadow of a doubt, this is the wrong job for you and you'll be able to leave with a clear conscience. All right, as far as these cards over here, the internal and external forces at play, the 8 of Wands. This card talks about not jumping into new things too quickly, so it makes sense with this reading. I sense some of you took this job because you just needed money and you've proven to be trustworthy. You're successful at it. You're being asked to take on a lot of responsibilities, potentially early into your career when you weren't expecting to. This is all moving rather fast for you. And it's okay to say, I need some time to think about it before saying yes to something that you feel unsure about. Do some research, take your time. You have the time. It's not like your dreams are going to go away from you. They're waiting there for you whenever you want to make them happen. Make things right with yourself before making a decision. Advice on what to do next, the Four of Pentacles reversed. This for me is just confirmation that now is the time to be questioning your career. Like, good on you for clicking on this video because this is the time that you're supposed to be looking at this. It's Spirit's way of saying, like, yep, we do want you to sit for a minute and think it through. However, do not stay in stagnation of fear. Do not sit on the fence hoping a decision will get made for you, because it will, and you might not like the one that's made for you. This card also indicates working well with groups and shared resources, so it's very important to both ask for help and offer help to those who are in your life and coworkers. And like I said before, it looks like potentially an older advisor is coming into you. Definitely take up their advice and take them up on their help that they're giving to you. Who can help you at this time? And the Ten of Swords. This is a more of like a who to not trust currently. So there is someone that's a bit of a backstabber who's at your job. Potentially that person at work who's always talking behind people's backs. This person you need to pay close attention to. The time may come where you have to stand against them. And also you can help you by giving yourself permission to make this decision and not rushing yourself. You're telling yourself how much you trust yourself when you do this. This is often an overlooked piece of self-care in my opinion. And speaking of self-care, you need to do that as well. You need to be taking time to make yourself happy daily. Whether it's big or small, make it a point to treat yourself well and let yourself have time to breathe. These are all the messages I'm getting for you, group number 3. If this video resonates with you, give it a like. Subscribe to my channel for more pick a card videos, as well as monthly horoscope readings, and comment down below on which career field you're hoping to change into. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, group number 4, if you chose the quarter, then this is your reading on is this job right for you? So the first 2 cards here are which ones I pulled for if you should stay, the Ten of Cups reversed, and if you leave, the Two of Swords. If you stay, this is actually a pretty direct answer. You're going to have a lot more arguments, hectic work schedules, and there's definitely going to be a strain on your family life. Things are just not going to get better in the future for you. This card, the Two of Swords here, it just signifies the stress of making the decision to leave. For some of you, you don't want to come off disloyal and unappreciative, but I think in your heart of hearts, you know that this is no longer where you are meant to be. Collect as many facts and make sure you have a lot of plans before you leave. It's definitely a time to make sure that all of your ducks are in a row and you know what you're going to be doing next. Please make sure you have your finances in order before resigning. A 2 weeks notice is definitely a must here when we see this Two of Swords. Internal and external forces at play, the Queen of Cups. You're the type of person who needs your work to be emotionally fulfilling is what this card is telling me. Just clocking in and out is not really your style. There's going to be some kind of a caring person who comes into your life to join you on the path that you were meant to have. The bottom line is it's not going to be enough to keep feeling satisfied day in, day out by just going to work and not having any emotional investment in it. Advice on what to do next, the Hangman. Things are going to pan out the way they're supposed to. You don't have to rush off into any decision. Hang back. Make a clear plan, this is saying one more time, of what you want your career to be. Allow the universe to bring the right people and situations into your life to get you there. There's no need to force anything or to stalk off in a huff. Release some of your emotional grip on this job. I think you'll find it becomes a lot easier to see the other opportunities presenting themselves to you. When I was teaching, I knew I was very unhappy in my job. I knew that I felt like I was a part of a system that was really oppressing children, oppressing low-income children, oppressing our special education students, and it just didn't feel good for me. But I was so emotionally wrapped up in helping these students that it was really hard for me to leave, and it took me like 2 or 3 years to really start putting a plan together to leave the teaching field. Once I let go and I realized that I would find another path that allowed me to help others, but in a healthier system, it all seemed a little less draining on me. It all seemed to be so much clearer. I knew I was still going to be on the path of helping others, but in a way that made me feel like I wasn't a part of the problem. See, I wasn't destined to change things from the inside of the system like so many of my coworkers really were. That just wasn't the path that I was on. And once I realized I didn't really belong there, it was much more peaceful for me. Who can help you at this time? The Seven of Wands reversed. So someone is going to be hired soon that you realize can actually take your place. You can leave things to them, and for them, that is where they're supposed to be. So you don't have to have any guilt associated with leaving them because that person is supposed to be in that job field. That doesn't mean you're any less capable or lovely than the person that's getting hired on. It just means that that career is more aligned to their path, whereas you have another career out there specifically for you. Going against your moral code by staying is not beneficial to any party involved. And there's a bigger plan for you somewhere else with a different group of people. I get a big healer vibe when I'm reading these cards and I'm looking down at this pile. You have this sort of destiny in raising the consciousness of the world. You were meant to help us progress as a society. Please wait until you feel ready, then release your current job so that you can pursue your destiny. These are all the messages I'm getting for you, group number 4. If this video resonates with you, give it a like. Comment down below on if you are interested in some kind of a healing or spiritual field, and I will see you next time. Bye!